Probably not. I mean, probably a better hero than just playing like a Moon Knight, for example, at least. But we've seen teams swap to those heroes, like you said earlier, leg down, Digital Path, just going for like a little bit of Volt Charge and then swapping.
Yep. Just some early nuts down the corridor and then over to the Winter Soldier. That's enough fun for you. Get back on, Bucky.
Can't say that without laughing like that, I swear to God. In the left side, dude. They try to said, that was Madian on the right side on the Hela. He actually had some really standout performances on the Hela in MRC, so it's nice to see him back on that hero, back on the Hela, consistently putting in damage alongside this Invisible Woman. It's about, you know, who in that tandem and who in that duo can take advantage of the traits. It looks like Rad and Len specifically doing a great job creating space for themselves at the moment. And the hook and follow-up is there from the Groot of Rad.
Nice backboard brought up as well, taking advantage of that longer cast range on the Iron, on the Thornlash walls. Nice. The Dark Maelstrom racks Magneto's veins with dark magic, and he's sent to the Dark Dimension for a little timeout.
Rad holding the choke point. And it's actually a tough delay, too, on days, right? Going back to spawn so early, or so late, rather, there is awful, considering Chime also building up to his ultimates. Here's that Puerto Rica chance, but ultimates are coming up. Ricky, can they get a good boundary off to keep the team alive on the card? It looks like they do go for it, but is the damage follow-up already there? Damage boost also can be popped by Abs when necessary, right? There's the Groot ultimate.
Oh, it's so big.
Oh my God. Disgusting. That's basically a full team wipe. For a second, they're just hiding behind the bus stop, but
we're just waiting for the bus.
Dude, that's a bus straight to hell right there. Oh my God.
And I thought it would just go to Swindon. Dinks being 92% is kind of critical there, is the sad truth. Being just so far, so close to that Lunar ult. But unfortunately, it not being available means that Strangling Prison combined with the Kraken Impact, it's an easy team wipe at the worst possible moment. Amadian going to be moving up here into a 2 versus 2. Already has to use the iframes. Should be an easy catch. Spamming of that Guardian Shield coming through, but manually is so nasty on this hit scan. Bro's a bit of a cyber bullet.
Yeah, I thought he almost made it out of there. In fact, they're actually going for some ultimates here on the backside to follow it up. I have a hook middle. They took everything, and it's just futile leg day. All gone just due to a easy disengage from Spenny and crew popping the invisible boundary.
Oh, that's so many resources to get absolutely nothing. Disgusting. Actual Greek economy in real time here from Shikigami. Throwing it all down the toilet. Manually going to be playing from a soft angle alongside Chime as well. If a Squishy gets caught by this 3-man Merc squad, it could be over.
I mean, it's Rad in the driver's seat right now. Oh, it's Spenny doing is sitting behind Amadian, push right into the stun. Poor Amadian, just bullied. But it is traded on the other side. Scatter did a good job finding down Chime, but Len able to take down Diz. I mean, Dink's ultimate again, just a bit too late on that back side. I mean, Amadian has to walk back from spawn. Not a lot of damage here on this back angle, as well as manually there with the follow-up on the Dude ultimate. There's so much damage coming through from the Goddess of Death and the team. 4 minutes and 40 seconds. What a blazing fast time for Rad moving on the 3rd point.
Yeah, let's talk about the value that Len got there, since we've got a moment, off the back of the Thornlash walls. Not only were they putting out more DPS onto those members stuck within the Tangling Prison, but also it was blocking off the heals that were trying to come through from the side of Ricky, and that also not only not blocked off the heals, but also denied Ricky the ability to build up that invisible boundary and save everyone. So huge heads-up play from Len, and a great place to put down that ultimate.
Forwards, they put themselves in a good spot. We'll see if they can maintain this aggression, right? Just to move on and cap out the map would be massive. For Shikigami, right? They finally built up an ult bank, so maybe this is their time. However, Rad have had some good reads so far on Shikigami. In this case, Connie getting pulled and deleted by Kraz is massive for Shikigami. They play it back as well, but Beta both worlds here from Abs. Too late to save Connie, unfortunately. And the Strangling Prison could be big here as well. Madian's Goddess of Death eventually going to run out. Still looking for manually and will connect. So both Hellboys trading back and forth as the passive dealt a little bit extra damage to the Bucky on the left side, flanking the rest of the team as Shikigami tracking down the main force of Rad to send them back to the spawn.
Finally finding some stability. And now they need to tax the geography here for Shikigami. Big value out of a Tangling Prison here would be everything, but you've got to deal with Spenny, who has access to that invisible boundary. Easiest way to do it? Grab Spenny out of it, using the Barnet Cook and punch them elsewhere, but it could be a little bit of a crapshoot, just trying to hook into that boundary.
Portal play the height. What does Shikigami want to do around this area? Looks like just disengage it, right? Force them to drop towards the cart. A lot of walls come out. There's that ultimate out of the boundary too. Perfect strangle prison by Kraz. Spenny's boundary just a bit too far away, and he was an absolute hero in this fight.
Just 2 ults to get it done as well. That's good, efficient budgeting. They've still got a little stagger coming through as well. Len finally executed from Daze, and now once again it's going to be difficult to try and break through the choke because the portal cooldown's gone and Carney's gone as well.
Shikigami have really leveled up on this third phase, right? With the backs against the wall, just getting pull after pull with either Winter Soldier or whether it be Invisible Woman. Spenny and Chime really putting the team on their backs at the moment. And, or sorry, on the other side, Daze and Ricky getting those opening picks. I mean, that's been beautiful out of Shikigami.
Krasman going to be forced to disengage here. Not pulled in at the moment, actually. Rad missing out on opportunities to punish these commutes. Spenny punished in absentia. The Soul Drainer removes all chance Spenny had of escaping, but essentially trades out here for Dave's big usage of the Eye of Agamotto. The entire Vanguard line has their soul denied as Carney just able to try and keep Krasman at range. Doesn't have that shield now, though, to try and block off the healing as it comes on through. Abs caught without any hope but a prayer, frozen up before the mortars, but the strong crows come from the skyline and find themselves soul upon soul to add to Hela's army.
Shikigami are really building upon their defense right now and held for nearly about 3 minutes off of some good ult usage, right? Just consistently rotating out both Madian's ultimate and then Dink with that massive Fate of Both Worlds. So we'll see if Rad can finally come back in and get something going, but it's going to be off of Chime to really get something going with this Kraken impact.
Dreams of efficacy here from Chime once again. Early play. Ricky answers with the invisible boundary. Deus ready to try and do it for themselves here in conjunction with a strangling prison. Shikigami get all the ults at just the right time. It's a wild play away from Deus, so it's not going to be a reset, but in the end it didn't matter because Amadian's there to clean it on up. And it feels like Rad are really caught in the weeds.
Here they come.
They really are. I mean, this angle as well from Daze and the rest of Shikigami just playing around these hooks. I mean, they know Daze is there. Maybe saw his name played around the corner. Maybe a bit too long of a name for Krasman. Pulled back in. Though, as the food on the side was punished on the back angle, he gets removed. Spenny and Rad take advantage of a very aggressive position from the group player of Shikigami, and it's resulting in an absolute crumbling of their defense right now with no time left.
Len desperately needs healing, needs to survive in order to get the strangling prison going. Scatters too far forward, and now the duelists have found the backline. The creamy innards of Shikigami are sucked on out, and now the cart's finally moving once again as the convoy heads towards Avengers Tower.
Shikigami now coming back in. They've only got a few ultimates to work with, so Rad taking the driver's seat, but also, in overtime, they have to play around this objective, so it's going to be a bit of an anxiety-ridden fight for them on the attack boundary to set things up. Magneto ultimate as well in the sky from Scatter. Not going to connect on anything necessarily, but manually into the sky as well with some extra damage over the high ground, able to take down Ricky, and then onto a Madian with the follow-through of Chime. That's so much damage coming through from both of the duelists of Rad right now, as everybody else on Shikigami just has to run through without even using their ultimates. Unfortunately, those will be all for naught, as Rad are going to close out on the map with no time in the bank.
Critical massive ultimates found by Rad. They had 5 or 6 for that last fight, and it all came to and efficacy on C, but attacking. A lot of people would say that this map is quite attacker favored. I think after you get halfway through B, that stops being the case. An early attempt at a hook on through here, but it's well shielded. A metallic curtain raised by Magneto, and that's going to get in the way of the win condition. Nice freeze, but there's not really going to be too much in the way of execution on the back of it.
Yeah, none yet. Rad trying to secure the high ground. Walls come through. Oh my gosh, barely staying alive. There is going to be Daze with his own Magneto on the right side, but Chime really just trying to push the pressure right now onto Shikigami's back line. Oh, look at that Kraz using double walls to get up onto this Hela flank. It may cost him his life, however, as he needs some support from the rest of his team, but Shikigami trying to pressure out these off angles is massive for them. If Manually and Spenny can control them, that's going to be always tough, as this cart still pushes forward without any ends so far.
Definitely as well. Ricky playing up on the high ground here could make for a big force. This is a thing that maybe we saw manually get pulled in there. Amadian able to try and play off the back of this for Trooper's Fist, get some real value, explosive bullets, and Rotter Stern of Chime just tear through. And Rad back in control here. They did give up the high ground, but guess what? They're platforming their way back up.
Yeah, the backup indeed. Also need to build more, or build back towards Fate of the Worlds from Abs. I mean, looking for snaggers, constantly looking to make plays with those group walls and hooks. Amadian throwing up to the high ground. Still trying to control these angles, right? 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. How do these two teams play this matchup right now? Looks like Rad trying to play around this top. Oh my god, and Candy comes down on the bottom with a huge follow-up on Daze. Just catches him with his pants down in the main side, and now with that, Rad just secure even more delay kill.
Carney just so good at taking these tactical peeks, swinging the corners with a fully charged Dark Maelstrom. Doesn't even need it going up against Dinks. It's just a whip to the bottom as they leave, and they're sent back to spawn for a while. However, 6 ultimates now available for Shikigami. They need to ration these effectively.
They really do, yeah. And at the moment, I'm just impressed with Abs to be able to build back up towards his own ultimate, lapping Dinks right now. But like you said, like this is a huge fight coming up, and both of these teams, you know, will have ultimates on both sides.
It's going to be a smorgasbord. It's going to get fast. Prepare your eyes for the pixelated mess of potentially 12 ultimates ready to go. For now, it's going to be the Iron Agamotto already taking down 2. Amadian and Ricky, they're already down, so this one's already called for sure for Shikigami. 1 ultimate, that's great efficiency.
Candy's timings have been impeccable. Just so good at positioning, making sure he's in the right place at the right time, taking out the Bucky earlier, and then with that Eye of Agamotto, just when nobody expected it, Shikigami, you know, they got to sort of tighten up right now, really get a hard engage going on, because I'm a little worried for them at the moment.
The information needs to get better. The Meteor M in a tight space. It's difficult to hit. It's Kami once again, ready to get it done. Only Len afflicted by the cold here, but it gets done down under the threshold. That will offer over a reset for the Deus coming in on top maybe of a strangling prison. Yeah, but there are strategist ultimates here to keep everyone healed and up, nice and healthy. Chime just able to blink away with the Rotter Stern. Tainted voltage cleaves through the nerves of multiple players. Just taking to the sky. Manually he's able to send down crow after crow. These mortars from on high are going to blow apart the competition. Dinks taken down by Abs in the mirror here. Shikigami have finally got themselves some sense of stability, and finding Abs as well as a late pick is going to be huge as Shikigami finally have momentum on their side.
Portal still available here, leg day for Candy to come back, so they will have this retouch with ultimates as well with the Kraken impact ready to go. Will the Median's Goddess of Death be stronger? There's the portal on the top side. Also, Connie going to be close towards that. But we'll see if that comes into play. Median to the sky with the Hell Unleashed. Also, Abs with the follow-up in the side of the Kraken impact. The Hell Unleashed is actually just removed as he's trying to live on the backside. Abs is going DPS mode right now on Amadian, scaring him off the off angle. So that strategist aggressive play is working right now for Rad Esports. Overtime ticks down. Can anybody even touch in time? Leg day, they don't, can't, and end the match on Midtown.
Scatter was isolated all by himself. The walls were erected and the healing could not reach the Vanguard in time. So Scatter died with no friends. The frag was found, and the push was finished. Raz, despite a couple of stops on their attack, they were all about the defense. Credit here, though, they may be trying to just run it back with a similar matchup on a better map for them. Because this was the choice of Shikigami. Maybe they are particularly adept at Shin Shibuya. This is a map where all the little different minutiae of the geography can really make the difference, especially when defending first point. I'm going to open up with a portal here to claim the back high ground for the attacking team.
A very deep portal. or their side, dropping down below. Interesting as well, not a lot of mag for both sides, right? Really enjoying playing around that Doctor Strange. Freeze on the Len, make sure he can't come down to the point immediately. We see Maindley still controlling that off angle over the top side. We'll see how much value he can find, whereas Amadi on his team side and Scatter able to just deal with the front line. Connie dropping down one of the team, and now you have this Winter Soldier on the outside. Instead of 1v1 with the Doctor Strange, you're not going to win that, so Scatter and Shikigami hold on for now.
Good bend, but don't break defense here from Shikigami. Now there's a couple of hostages in the back. Leonard Nab's taken out, spends the last one. And now they are going to have a final portal coming up towards the last fight, which is maybe something that will come up later for Carney. For now, they have to try and make their way through the choke manually now. And that means braving the poke of Amadian and Deus.
And that's scary when Deus is coming up on that crack and impact. They're just going to hold right in. They're just going to run straight into the right side of the objective. Deus swing on his ult. I mean, obviously, no Strategist ultimate here and available. Long rotation for Shikigami. They went into the right room. Now they're going all the way around. And they're going to leave. It looks like they're Hella in main. Maybe think that they've forgotten. Shikigami's side has forgotten about that Hella. Sitting back in main and Emmanuel. But now Emmanuel's alone. Does have the guard. Able to barely stay alive with it on him. But now into the water is Amadian. Smelt blood. Emmanuel's going to fall. And into that strangling prison as well. It's a huge advantage for this defensive side as Amadian is set to roam free.
Abstinence is winnable though. Pops the fate of both worlds. Turn around here potentially as a strangling prison comes on in. It's a cracking impact from the top. It needs to be something big from Amadian, and it's just in time. Shuts down the invisible boundary the moment that it's summoned. And now Amadian is just flying 3 above this. Yes, Spider Zero is going to be catching a couple of the strong crows that have gone elsewhere. But you're also keeping manually out of this fight, keeping them suppressed inside that zone. The ice darts will cleave through so many. It's an absolute critical mass of healing and damage as Shikigami batten down the hatches.
Rad maybe being a little bit too quirky with their offense at the moment. A minute and 30 seconds left. Sure, they got a tick, but that was brutal to lose Spenny's ultimate in that instance. Ricky now with the boundary. I mean, they're sitting with such a big advantage on this defense in terms of strategist ultimates.
Yeah, like defensively, this is going to be very difficult to break here. By itself, I'd love to see a catch-22 here. Oh my goodness. Not too much gained off the back of that. Chime grabbed, incoming the Eye of Agamotto. It only gets Krasman for now. Manually takes to the skies, eye to eye with Cadian, staring at each other across this, can slowly descend, and they burst through that Goddess of Death already. The defensive ultimate was more than enough. Manually's isolated themselves, but it could be a bait. A big play there from Deus. Multiple players afflicted by every single ability. Days is the competition.
This is a brutal hold so far. Shikigami absolutely strangling Rad right now as they try to walk in, right? Len and crew and Rad Esports, maybe they can figure something out on their offense. They will have that boundary available. It was really tough versus Ricky and his team as they were ready to go with their own strategist ultimates. Rad now trying to walk in, but they're going to have to build all these ultimates without getting picked. The strangling prison's ready to go.
Dropping in from the top. Could be brutal here. Question is, who's going to fall up? Strangling Prison on top of multiple squishies. Oh, the invisible boundary has already been used, but you can't contest the point off the back of that. The healing's going to be taken elsewhere. Strangling Prison in towards the back yet again. Dink starts dancing to save everyone's life. They need to catch up with Krasman here and keep them alive, and indeed, Krasman has been reborn, regrown. Chime into the back. Galactic Legend surely solo onto the back line here. Ricky first to fall on down. Dinks is surely next to go. Scatter noted on the disengage, but it's Krasman who's turned upon first. At the last moment, Rad have finally found their openings as Chime rings a bell of death.
Chime is so good. I mean, he just brought the team that win by himself. I mean, really did. Rad now moving to the streets phase. Obviously, it was dicey. I mean, they spent so long their leg day just capping out that first point, but you know what? Better late than never, right?
Yeah, but certainly better late than never. Shikigami were on the edge of a real mental resurgence there as well. Being able to first point hold, taking the same mirror again, would have been a huge turnaround. But now you've got a new geography to deal with. And this might necessitate splitting up Rad. So it looks like they're going to try and run on a squish who's down on the low ground.
Waiting for it, Kenny. Locking up Ayabagamota, almost available as well. That built it up. It's the only ult for them right now. We'll see what they opt to do. Cart still pushing as well. No stop necessarily for Shikigami, who are sitting with the advantage at the current moment. Chime on the flank again, able to deal with the Mady and that tracking. Absolutely beautiful. Ayabagamot on the front line. Meanwhile, Craftsman able to follow it up. And Len with his own ultimate, armed and dangerous, down on the low ground. Ace trying to bring it back into favor, right? Whereas Rad in the sky manually just looking for this invisible woman. Cannot hide forever from the goddess of death in the sky. Also tossing down the boundary just on top of it to secure another win for Rad.
Okay, but that's a big ult gone from Spenny now. Question is, how do you deal with Amadian's Goddess of Death? It's got to be target focus here, as it's going to be the last tool available in the box to try and stop this convoy before it reaches its goal.
On the right, too. I mean, he was huge with his Galactic Legend earlier. We'll see if he can do it again manually as well. I mean, everybody, there's 3 people of Rad Esports. Half of the rosters on this right side. Pulled into it manually, though!
Oh, no!
Are you kidding me? Just right past the shield. It is traded back by Daze, however, as the Galactic Legend's on the backside. And all the group balls actually disrupted Kraz away from the team. So Len doing a good job disrupting for Chime. Meanwhile, on the low ground, a lot of damage boost coming through to give Chime even more damage onto Ricky to get the eliminations through the fate of the both worlds. And Chime has been absolutely beautiful so far for Rad Esports. The rest of them close out and move on to third phase with time in the bank.
I think we saw Ricky fall within the fate of both worlds because the healing was being blocked off from the source by Carney's shield. Great heads-up play there from Rad to get them through this area in much faster time. They're really making up for a time bank that was so heavily drained on first. And Amadian couldn't even find an opportunity to use the Goddess of Death. It was all about initiative here. And Rad are continually fighting on their own terms by manufacturing unfair fights on the flanks using the force physics.
Done such a good job prioritizing, making Shikigami feel uncomfortable, right? Through that Vanguard play, like you said, and then through great duelist gameplay. Meanwhile, Strangling Prison does catch down Shikigami in the backside, but it's countered on the other side, too, by Shikigami. We're matching Rad Esports right now. Len a bit too maybe overzealous in his case as they just collapse under their own ultimate.
That was all Deus. Carney wanted to get a 6-person Eye of Agamotto onto that Strangling Prison, gets hooked out of it by Deus, who's caught within the Strangling Prison. Excellent heads-up play, prioritizing utility out of a Barnet Cook instead of kill potential.
Rad still have some time in the bank, but we're pretty much entering last fight territory against Shikigami, who are loaded up. Juice to the gills right now. There's the Legendary early from Time. Understanding the position they're in, just wants to force something out. Boundary and... Wait, Boundary and Fate of Both Worlds pop for Shikigami. They just double layered their ultimate. That's brutal because Abs also sitting back with his own ult. Wait, but he's taking so long to commit his own ult. The same con he did. Meanwhile, Time just comes to the backside. Understanding both of the Stratus ultimates were committed. Able to get the elimination, but Amadian trying to keep his team in it. Dude does get rid of Time. Also, Abs just ran right into Amadian's shots. Are you kidding me? Hell Unleashed from the high ground. But do they have the damage to get rid of it? Amadian has his own, but can't use it. And Connie and crew able to follow through. Not out of the Goddess of Death. Not out of the fight just yet. Rad hold on in overtime.
How long is Amadian have this ult now? And it was the second overlay as well from Abs and Spenny, doing exactly the same sins they saw from Ricky and Dinks. Watched the VOD and thought, seems like a good idea to me. But now, it's all about, the block off. Oh, this could be terrible. Amadian might have to try and contest this by themselves. There's still that Kraken impact to try and play with here. And it's a missed force physics. A missed opportunity here for Ricky.
I have Agamotto. Oh, that could be the dagger. My God, Kenny. 2 eliminations, both strategist players. No healing is here. Amadian, the Goddess of Death. He finally used it, but look where he is. I mean, he's just stuck using it as a second health pool. That was beautiful by Rad Esports. Connie putting the team on the back. He talked about him earlier. Venom to touch this payload. But I mean, nobody else is really going to be here at this point. The portal block into Agamotto. You can't ask for better Vanguard play than that right there.
Kind of generational collapse there from Shikigami on their defense. Doubling other side of Rad. Any time would be good for Shikigami, and of course they did choose to go here, so they must be confident in their original attacking plan. Likely to be going through here with a portal to try and claim that back high ground and flip the map on Rad.
Where do they go that? Oh, immediately into Rad, just portaling into the high ground. Connie flies back up. Doctor Strange and his abilities. Meanwhile, manually, 2 dinks onto Dave's body shot, headshot, removes him off of the lobby. Also, same thing with Kraz and Scatter. So, opening fight goes Rad's way.
Huge thumbs down, dislike from me on that particular portal. I don't like having the portal be on top of something that can be collapsed by fire, that destructible terrain. Like we saw, I think Scatter just fell through the bottom, so Deus just disappeared. Gravity won.
Gravity won. Unfortunately, Kraz none. And for the side of Rad right now, they're just going to keep holding this choke as Shikigami, deciding what to do right now. It looks like they just want to take this neutral, go back and forth, but with high ground advantage for Rad Esports, right? Like, they just keep sitting over these tanks. They know exactly where Shikigami is and when they want to pounce. It's up to them manually, just sitting all above. You have a lot of pressure coming onto your tank players, but if you don't get elimination, I mean, Daze could fall again like he did earlier, and there it is, manually. Second elimination in a row, although it's traded. Connie goes a little bit too far forward. Pull not close enough onto manually to bring him back into the other side's angle. As ultimate's available, Ricky's going to have to pop his boundary. Boundary comes back through. Or sorry, Fate of Both Worlds comes back through for Abs, so it's traded back and forth. The boundary, usually you kind of want to use second. Potentially Portal comes back from Canny, so he'll be back in the fight as he slowly makes his way out of the portal. Fate of Both Worlds, boundary is well met on both sides, so a ton of strategies ults being popped at the moment.
Pixels happening right now, up in the air. Oh, the shield's not quite there in time. A momentary lapse in consultation from Carney is all that it takes for both Chime and manually to fall on down. Somehow it's been manufactured into a win here for the side of Shikigami, with Dace returning on the Namor and just really complicating the fight with the deployment of those Monstro spawn. And now there's no recontest off the back of a portal either, as Carney used it for a solo recontest.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great point. Leg day, I mean, brutal. They don't have that to come back through. And now for Shikigami, I actually like their comp. I mean, it's a bit of an odd one, right? Usually you don't see Hela and Namor and Luna Snow go through in the map band or the band protect system. So no legendary, no galactic legend for Star-Lord on their side. Just going with his brute force, high damage composition with the whales and the damage from Radiant.
Kani putting feet on the cart. That's going to be a rise up and a fall down for Ricky. The strategists decimated as Dace is going to be joining them in Tartarus for now. It's a long ride across the river Styx, and Carney is ready. He's got his paddle to try and make it happen.
Good job just living, right? Just constantly playing back and forth. Got the heals, understood where the health pack is, playing around it very well, but Strangling Prison and Whale are available for Shikigami, right? They could go for that Wombo combo. Maybe building up the damage boost. Fate of Both Worlds, but Scatter's going to go down on the outside angle. There's the Strangling Prison. Here's the Whale on the backside. Going to get rid of both of those members. Manually and Chime fall, Kraz and crew Shikigami. Keep this cart pushing forward, and after their defense, this has to feel good with 3 minutes in the streets thing.
Yeah, these are the fundamentals I wanted to see from the side of Shikigami. Just being basically effective with these ultimate combos. We finally see it come to the fore between Krazman and Deus. The comms have been unlocked. The mute buttons have been toggled.
And it's slow right now. Rad able to come back in. Also made the switch to Chime over to the Namor on their side. So, with both these heroes getting through, you rarely see it. Maybe some of these players not as practiced on the Namor necessarily. That's not the role they usually play on. It's usually the Hela player that plays a lot more of that Namor. They play it slow, Hela Unleashed by manually to open things up early. Throws in that damage, but it's really not bad by anything. It's just disengaged pretty well by Shikigami.
Yeah, good sightline. The Shikigami do turn that into strategist ult charge. Deus falling down to a long-range trident, though, changes everything. And Krazman just falls through the cracks. With both the strategists up, there must have been some distractionary measures coming in through the back. Maybe Chime going for a similar Kendrick-esque mugging that we saw earlier. Shikigami is sent scurrying away.
I wish that they maybe... Yeah, there must have been something that held them off there for sure. Shikigami needed to take advantage of the situation they were in. Maybe commit their ultimates a little bit earlier, and now Rad Esports, minute 30 left in the bank after it was looking a lot worse earlier. Now, Rad kind of in the driver's seat.
Carney waiting for a corner swing here. This could be all about that information again doing a quick cloak of levitation into Eye of Agamotto. Has been a signature move thus far. The force physics avoided in of their own accord now. 3 squishy stunned. Ricky brings up the invisible boundary to try and deal with this. While Chime is isolated elsewhere. Oh, the Horn of Proteus down on top of it. Nice interception with the wall. I hope that was Len's wall and not Krasman's there. If so, it might well have been a little bit of a dangerous miscalculation to happen. Still, as for dust clears, Shikigami seems to be rolling.
Yeah, they have ultimates to go as well, but we've seen Shikigami choke this before, and they need to pop their ultimates a little bit earlier than they have been, or find this opening KO, right? There's a lot on them right now. It looks like Rad Esports, right? They set up the high ground. They also have a portal flank on the card.
Portal flank wrapping around the back. Amadian's here to greet them. A nice wave of hello. Manually can't get into the iframes in time. That is a huge Eye of Agamotto. Venestron crows hit both soul and body alike, and flesh rips and tears, sears under the might of the goddess of death. It's going to be a quick slink away for Manually to the next spawn, and this is going to be an okay time bank, matching what Rad had.
That's what you like to see, is Shikigami, right, consistently getting better, taking advantage of the situation they were in. Obviously, you know, they had the positional advantage. Rad Esports had to come through. They made some awkward plays, maybe to confuse Shikigami or maybe on their own end. But now Shikigami put themselves in a good spot. Still 1 minute and 23 seconds left, though, so it's going to be dicey as we come down to the wire here at the very end.
All right, a right click here. Berserks for Squids. Manually finds out the hard way, but the fish fight back. And Amadian grabs Chime. All the duelists of Rad have been banished away, and so it needs to be a full disengage. This might give time for Carney to set up a nasty portal, or rather Scatter to do it as well.
See if that is a play. For sure available. Scatter very aggressive, though, right? Pressing back this front line right now. Portal block not, unfortunately, going to come through. Root ultimate from Kraz goes deep. Whale as well, trying to follow it up. But here's the Sky. Oh my god, Manually just connects, gets rid of 2 from the Sky, and with 40 seconds left, Shikigami are set back.
I don't know what was getting Horn of Proteus there. There was a wild one into the midst of it, but great play there from Manu. Just takes to the Sky. Great sight line, can really pressure out that back line. The strategist had no chance to survive that out in open territory, so having to hide away. And when you hide away as a strategist, that means your vanguards are going to fall because you're no longer free healing. Now, once again, you've got to get past the erected defenses. Len's got a strangling prison good to go. And Abs always has that backstop gap as well. Off the back of the Fate of Both Worlds. And super low.
Super low right now. Get some healing, though. Here comes the Fate of Both Worlds from the defensive side of Abs. He just wants to go aggressive. Countered by Dinks. Also, Scatter's sitting available with his Eye of Agamotto. Has it before Canny does, potentially here in a second, as Canny's also going to build it. Both teams waiting for those Fate of Both Worlds to end. Held Unleashing the Sky, Amadian. Goddess of Death, the buff. Here comes Eye of Agamotto. It connects flush for Shikigami as Amadian's there with the follow-up. Manually, without the Goddess of Death, can't really follow up in his own team's Eye of Agamotto. Sure, Dinks falls, but right now, he's getting countered by Amadian.
Okay, now maybe there's a moment to try and make the portal work if Scatter has the resources to do it. Good peel as well from Ricky, bringing up the Guardian Shield to keep Dinks alive for a second longer. Seems like there is going to be no portal here. Always has to be one player on the car at all times from Shikigami, otherwise this round will end prematurely. Chime's already taken the damage, can't afford to fall as he has got the main ultimate available here in the Horn of Proteus. Oh no, loses the daughter Manually.
In the brutal on the other side, Chime there on the back. I mean, oh my god, Rad just trying to end it here and now. They do it. They get it done. Ricky and Daze gonna go back to the spawn. Saving the ultimate for next week, it feels like, as Rad get it done at the very end of the game. Man, that was so hectic. But Rad 2-0.
Oh, brutal angles. Manually always just managing to find exactly the right timing to catch Amadian unaware. Also being able to follow up on the Eye of Agamotto stun onto Dinks was crazy. We saw the Guardian Shield being used to at least make sure that the Strange couldn't follow up on his own ultimate, but Manually finding the off angle meant easy headshots and then an easy felling of the Lunar Snow, who could have been absolutely critical in that fight.
Well, an awesome series.